Chicago. Ordinary cops are losing the battle against the super freaks. Then a miracle happens. The Chicago PD lets a green guy into the ranks to try and help out. So at the request of Matt Hickman, we're going all the way back to 1992 and the golden age of Image Comics. Become a patron and make your own requests. Massive spoilers are massive for the Savage Dragon comics. You've been warned. On with the show. Savage Dragon number 4. So I was wrong. Dragon arrives at the cab house, and aside from the murders that aren't any of Dragon's business considering, in the basement is a monster covered in spikes, looking like one of those thorny dragons or an armadillo-girdled lizard. But she's mostly just a little girl who's malnourished. Dragon brings her back to the police station and feeds her, with Captain Stewart saying that if she wants, she'd make a good addition to the force. Later, Amanda, you know, the hostage from way back who was all about wanting to get Dragon up in her guts, confronts Dragon about ignoring her. But Dragon has been ignoring her because he doesn't want to be with her. He doesn't want to know her. He doesn't want to risk her life because of who he is and what he does for a living. It's pretty poignant to show that while he's not necessarily drinking himself into a stupor over Debbie anymore, that really has hardened his metaphorical skin. Later still, Captain Stewart gets Dart and Dragon together to at least better work against the growing super freak problem, with Dragon bringing up that he has met a couple homeless supers that could potentially help before someone runs in to tell them that there's a couple super freaks fighting in the underground. So Dragon and Dart hop into action. They go to the subway to find Ricochet and Barbaric fighting a super freak named Cesspool, who looks like a walking pimple, who can spray some sort of acid out of his disgusting pores. He sort of kicks everyone's butt before one of Dart's darts plugs one of his holes and he basically pops like a whitehead. Yum. Dragon formally asks Ricochet and Barbaric to join the CPD, and after a little time of mulling it over, they agree. But when they arrive at the CPD, Ricochet is asked how old she is, which makes her mad and she leaves. And to wrap up this issue, we see the little old lady who thinks that Dragon is her son on a bus heading to Chicago to see her little boy. So, it's another issue of continuing things, but the big pull from this issue is that there's a super team forming within the CPD that I'm actually really intrigued about. It's really becoming a cast of characters that could potentially be really neat to see in a team book setting, and luckily tomorrow's issue brings up the first official get-together of Freak Force. So yeah, really there's not a lot I think I want to say on this. I did brush over pointing out Frank being worried about Mildred and the baby, and some banter between Dragon and Dart sniping at each other. However, I sort of wish more came from the decab thing. I mean, it's not a bad reveal, but there were bullet holes in the wall, Larson built up a relatively horror film happening, and then it became nothing but a freak in the basement. It actually feels like he kind of forgot where he was going with it, or decided to go in a different route after making the decision. But come back tomorrow as we finish up the Savage Dragon half of this month, and hopefully have a smoother second half of this month with scheduling. See you tomorrow, Inklings.